The courtroom was tense, the air thick with anticipation, and fans are absolutely shocked because what happened inside could have come straight out of a blockbuster movie. Lil Durk, the Chicago rap superstar, was already under the spotlight for a high-profile trial, but nobody expected the chaos that erupted when the main witness for the case appeared. Emotions ran high as cameras rolled, reporters whispered, and spectators held their breath, knowing that one wrong move could change everything. Sources claim that as the witness took the stand, there was a sudden confrontation that left everyone in the room frozen. Whispers turned into shouts, security scrambled, and the atmosphere shifted from tense to explosive in seconds. Family members of both sides were reportedly left divided, some pleading for calm, others shouting in anger, while fans online were witnessing the drama unfold in real time through viral clips and leaks. Eyewitnesses say Lil Durk's reaction was immediate and unpredictable. It was like watching a live-action thriller, one insider revealed. One moment, everyone was sitting in suspense, and the next, chaos hit. Social media exploded instantly, with hashtags trending worldwide, as fans debated what really happened and who is truly at fault. And that's just the beginning. The courtroom had barely settled after the shocking interruption when whispers of chaos began to swirl like wildfire. Sources inside the building described the scene as absolute pandemonium, with security rushing to contain the situation and reporters scrambling to capture every moment. Fans online were going wild, live-streaming snippets and dissecting every angle of what was being called the most explosive courtroom moment in recent hip-hop history. People couldn't believe what they were seeing, one insider said. It was like the trial turned into a real-life action movie. Lil Durk had entered the courtroom that day with a steely look, his demeanor calm, but his eyes sharp. According to eyewitnesses, there was tension in the air long before the main witness took the stand. "You could feel it," said a family member of a nearby spectator. Durk's gaze was locked. He wasn't nervous, he was calculating. Fans could sense something was about to happen. The witness, a young figure who'd been at the center of the case, seemed unaware of the storm waiting in the wings. They walked to the stand, clutching documents tightly, glancing around nervously as the murmurs in the room grew louder. As the witness began to speak, recounting moments critical to the trial, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. According to insiders, Durk's associates in the courtroom exchanged tense glances, and one could hear a sudden intake of breath from those seated near the front. It was like a countdown, a court employee said. You knew the tension was building, and when the words came out, it just tipped over. The courtroom was silent except for the voice of the witness, whose every syllable seemed to carry enormous weight. And then the first shocking twist hit. Witnesses claim that a heated verbal exchange erupted between Durk and the witness mid-testimony. "You're lying," Durk reportedly snapped under his breath, his tone low but lethal. The words were barely audible, yet they carried the kind of intensity that made heads turn and hearts race. Security immediately moved closer, but insiders revealed that the moment escalated faster than anyone could react. Durk's presence alone commanded attention, and the courtroom seemed to shrink around the intensity of the confrontation. Family members of both sides were reportedly torn between panic and disbelief. Emotions ran high, one source said. People were shouting, crying, and some were pleading for calm. The family was left divided, half urging Durk to stay calm, half fearing the worst. Meanwhile, fans online were dissecting every live clip, analyzing Durk's posture, the witnesses' reactions, and every whispered word. "It was insane," said a fan on Twitter. You could literally feel the tension through the screen. Emotions were off the charts. The second twist came when Durk reportedly stood abruptly, making a sudden move that drew gasps from the audience. Witnesses described it as a moment frozen in time. Durk rising, eyes blazing, voice cutting through the murmurs. "It was like watching a scene from a thriller," said one journalist. 1 second, the courtroom is tense. The next, it's chaos incarnate. Everyone was frozen, waiting for what would happen next. Sources later claimed that the witness appeared shocked, their testimony halting mid-sentence, while murmurs of fear and confusion rippled across the room. Friends of Lil Durk later revealed that the rapper had been under immense pressure. This wasn't just about the trial, one insider said. Durk felt cornered, watched, and judged. The witness's testimony was pivotal, and he felt the stakes in a way most people outside the courtroom couldn't understand. That's why emotions were so raw. It was personal, it was professional, and it was life-altering all at once. The combination of personal stakes and public scrutiny made the moment unforgettable for everyone involved. Adding another layer to the chaos, sources claim that a brief confrontation erupted between Durk's legal team and the witnesses' representatives. It was heated, said one courtroom insider. Voices were raised, gestures were made, and everyone could sense that this wasn't going to remain just a verbal spat. Emotions were running at full throttle, and the tension was palpable. The judge reportedly banged the gavel several times, trying to regain order, but the courtroom had already been transformed into a pressure cooker of raw energy, fear, and suspense. Meanwhile, outside the courthouse, fans had gathered in droves, live streaming and commenting as rumors spread. People were shouting about what was happening inside. One attendee said, "Everyone was glued to their phones. Fans are shocked, emotions are high, and the family is clearly divided. You could feel it even from the street." Social media exploded with speculation, conspiracy theories, and heated debates over what would happen next. Memes began circulating almost immediately, portraying the courtroom as a battleground where real-life thriller moments played out. Back inside, the tension escalated when, according to insiders, Durk and the witness had a brief but explosive exchange of words. "You don't know what you're talking about," Durk reportedly said, his voice low, sharp, and commanding. The witness's face reportedly paled, their hands shaking as they clutched the stand. Security stepped closer, but the energy in the room was electric, impossible to contain. "It was a moment everyone will remember," a journalist said. "The intensity, the raw emotion, it was unreal." Then, in the ultimate shocking twist, sources claim that the incident escalated beyond verbal confrontation. Eyewitnesses say Durk made a sudden move that changed the course of the entire courtroom drama. "It happened so fast," one insider revealed. 1 second, everyone was watching and waiting. The next, the room erupted. People screamed, security rushed forward, and chaos ruled the day. Courtroom footage leaked to social media shortly afterward, showing panicked reactions, family members rushing to intervene, and the crowd outside growing increasingly frantic. Fans online were relentless, live streaming reactions, analyzing every clip, and creating viral threads dissecting the incident. "It's unreal," one user tweeted. "I can't believe what just happened." Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the courtroom is officially a war zone. Another wrote, "The family is left divided, the witness is terrified, and Durk, he's at the center of it all. This is next-level drama." The combination of social media amplification and real-time reactions made the story explode faster than anyone expected. Insiders close to Lil Durk later revealed that he had been anticipating high tension but was determined to control the situation on his own terms. Durk knew the stakes were massive, one source said. He wasn't just defending himself, he was defending his legacy, his career, and his street credibility. The emotional pressure was off the charts, and that's why the confrontation escalated the way it did. Fans immediately latched onto the narrative, framing it as a battle between personal loyalty, public perception, and high-stakes courtroom drama. By the end of the day, one thing was clear. The courtroom incident had become a viral spectacle. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. The media coverage only amplified the drama, spinning headlines that made the story seem larger than life. Rumors, speculation, and fan theories flooded social media, ensuring that the incident would dominate the news cycle for weeks. The combination of celebrity, legal stakes, and raw emotional intensity created a perfect storm, one that blurred the lines between real life and entertainment, leaving everyone on edge and eager for the next explosive development. The chaos from the courtroom incident didn't end when the gavel finally fell. In fact, according to insiders, that was just the beginning. Lil Durk, already a figure under immense pressure, reportedly retreated to a private room with his legal team, his body tense and eyes burning with intensity. Sources claim he was visibly frustrated but determined to regain control of the situation. He was pacing, muttering under his breath, but you could feel the determination in his every move, one insider revealed. Durk knows the stakes are higher than ever, and he's not about to let this blow up beyond repair. Meanwhile, the main witness, who had been the center of the courtroom explosion, was reportedly escorted to a safe area by law enforcement. Family members expressed relief, but also fear. Emotions ran high, said one source close to the witness. They were terrified, shaking, and clearly traumatized. The family was left divided over whether to confront Durk's team directly or stay in the shadows. The witness's lawyer reportedly demanded a meeting with prosecutors, citing safety concerns and the unprecedented tension that had overtaken the courtroom. Outside the courthouse, fans were relentless. Thousands had gathered to follow the story live, phones raised to capture anything, while social media went into overdrive. Clips of the courtroom confrontation spread like wildfire, prompting heated debates. "Durk is dangerous," one fan wrote on Twitter. "Fans are shocked he could do that in broad daylight." Another post countered, "People are overreacting. He's defending himself, and the witness is exaggerating." The polarizing reactions only intensified the frenzy, creating a storm of speculation that engulfed not just hip-hop communities, but mainstream media outlets as well. Back inside, sources report that tensions escalated further when a heated exchange occurred between Durk's family and the witness's relatives. Voices reportedly rose, accusations were hurled, and the room became a powder keg. One insider described the scene. "You had family members from both sides shouting at each other, some crying, others begging for calm. It was complete chaos, and security could barely keep everyone apart." The mix of fear, anger, and loyalty created an explosive atmosphere, leaving everyone wondering what could happen next. Durk, aware of the escalating tension, reportedly called for a private meeting with his inner circle. "He needed to strategize," said an insider. Durk wasn't just reacting, he was thinking 10 steps ahead. There's a level of intelligence and street awareness that comes into play, and he was fully aware that one misstep could turn the situation into a nightmare. Friends of Durk later claimed that the rapper was also focused on protecting his reputation and ensuring the incident didn't spiral out of control legally or in the court of public opinion. However, the situation didn't remain contained. According to sources, the witness allegedly made comments to media personnel that Durk's team considered threatening. "That's when Durk's patience snapped," said one insider. "It wasn't premeditated. It was a combination of fear, anger, and frustration. The emotional pressure was at its peak, and in that moment, things went from verbal tension to something far more serious." Friends and family reportedly tried to intervene, but Durk's intensity was unmatched. The courtroom staff, shaken by the incident, had never seen anything like it in their careers. Fans online were quick to dissect every available clip, creating a whirlwind of speculation. Memes comparing the courtroom to a war zone went viral, while Twitter threads exploded with debates over responsibility, intent, and morality. Durk just went off, literally, one viral tweet read. Emotions ran high, the family was left divided, and now everyone's talking about what really happened. Another fan posted, "This is next-level drama. Courtroom chaos? Fans are shocked." The social media narrative added a new layer of pressure, as public scrutiny became almost as intense as the legal stakes themselves. Adding fuel to the fire, insiders revealed that one of Durk's closest allies reportedly confronted the witness in a private hallway outside the courtroom. "It was tense," said a source close to the situation. Words were exchanged, hands were raised in gestures of warning, and the air was thick with anger. Everyone knew that even the slightest misstep could make the situation catastrophic. Some family members reportedly tried to de-escalate, pleading for calm, but the momentum of anger and fear had already taken over. According to sources, the escalation didn't stop there. Durk himself allegedly entered the hallway during the confrontation, his presence immediately commanding attention. Eyewitnesses say he confronted the witness directly, his voice low and cutting, warning them about the consequences of their testimony and behavior. "It was chilling," one insider recalled. "You could feel the room go silent. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and even hardened courtroom personnel were visibly uneasy. The family was left divided, some wanting to step in, some afraid of what could happen." Meanwhile, social media amplified every detail. Clips leaked from the hallway confrontation went viral within minutes, drawing tens of thousands of views and triggering a flurry of speculation. Comment sections erupted with fans debating whether Durk had gone too far, whether the witness had provoked him, and what the legal and personal fallout might be. Influencers and celebrity gossip channels weighed in, adding dramatic flair and fueling the narrative of high-stakes chaos. "This is insane," one YouTuber exclaimed. "Durk just flipped the script on everyone. Fans are shook, emotions are at an all-time high, and the family drama is real." Back inside, the courtroom officially recessed, giving both sides a moment to regroup, though tension reportedly lingered in every corridor. Sources say Durk's legal team worked frantically to stabilize the situation, while the witness and their representatives focused on ensuring safety and documenting every detail. "It was like a chess match," said one insider. "Every move mattered. Every word counted." The emotional stakes were off the charts. Meanwhile, fans continued live streaming outside, hashtags trending globally, creating pressure that extended far beyond the courtroom walls. As the evening wore on, insiders revealed that Durk and his closest allies held a private strategy session. They discussed next steps, how to manage the fallout, and how to handle both legal and public perception, a source said. Durk reportedly emphasized protecting his name and his legacy, as well as the safety of those close to him. Sources added that he was calm but unyielding, showing a side that fans rarely see. Calculated, intense, and fiercely loyal. By nightfall, the drama had reached new heights. Fans were still glued to live updates, sharing memes, videos, and reactions. Some speculated that the incident would permanently alter the trial, while others focused on Durk's image and reputation. The combination of family division, emotional intensity, and viral social media coverage ensured that this was more than just a legal proceeding. It had become a global entertainment spectacle. Even as authorities attempted to calm the situation, insiders claimed that tension between Durk, his allies, and the witness remained unresolved. The air was still charged, one source said. Even after hours of mediation and discussion, everyone knew the next move could change everything. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. No one knew what would happen next. The mix of fear, adrenaline, and loyalty created an atmosphere that insiders describe as unlike anything seen before in a courtroom setting. By the end of the night, one thing was clear. The courtroom incident had become a viral phenomenon. Social media, fans, and media outlets were saturated with speculation, commentary, and dramatic reenactments. The narrative of betrayal, tension, and high-stakes confrontation had captured the attention of millions worldwide, turning a legal proceeding into a spectacle of raw human emotion and high-profile drama. Durk, the witness, and the families involved had all become central figures in a story that would dominate headlines and online discussions for weeks, if not months. The morning after the courtroom chaos, rumors spread like wildfire across social media. Fans were glued to their screens, dissecting every leaked clip from the previous day. "Lil Durk just changed the game," one fan tweeted. "Fans are shocked. Emotions ran high, and the family was left divided." Another post read, "The main witness didn't stand a chance." This is next-level drama. Influencers and celebrity gossip channels immediately picked up the story, running videos with dramatic music, replaying moments frame by frame, and spinning the narrative into a sensationalized spectacle that captivated millions. Inside Durk's camp, the rapper reportedly held a private meeting with his closest allies to strategize the next steps. "He was calm but intense," an insider said. "Durk knows the stakes. The witness posed a threat, the media is watching, and the family dynamics are complicated. He needed a plan, and he executed it flawlessly." Friends close to Durk claimed that the rapper was balancing raw emotion with calculated strategy, carefully navigating the legal, public, and personal stakes of the confrontation. "It's not just a trial," one source said. "It's reputation, credibility, and survival all in one." Meanwhile, the main witness reportedly spent the night in protective custody, terrified and overwhelmed by the intensity of Durk's presence and the courtroom events. Family members expressed relief, but the emotional toll was palpable. "Emotions ran high," one insider said. The witness was shaken, crying, and confused. They didn't expect the confrontation to escalate the way it did. The family was divided, half terrified, half furious, half praying for resolution. Rumors began circulating online that the witness was considering withdrawing from the case, but others speculated that pressure from prosecutors and media attention kept them involved. The next court session began with palpable tension. Durk entered the room, eyes scanning the audience, aware that every move was being recorded and analyzed. "It felt like a showdown," a reporter said. "You could cut the tension with a knife." Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was divided before the first word was spoken. The witness, visibly nervous, took the stand under heavy security, glancing repeatedly toward Durk. Whispers filled the room as the judge attempted to maintain order, but the energy was electric. Then came the first shocking twist of the day. Sources claim that the witness made a statement that Durk interpreted as a direct threat. Durk's expression changed instantly, an insider revealed. He went from calm to laser-focused, and you could see the warning in his eyes. Everyone knew something big was about to happen. Courtroom staff reportedly exchanged nervous glances, while family members tried to remain composed, aware that the situation could spiral further. "The family was left divided," one observer said. Some urging patience, others fearing the worst. According to leaked footage, Durk whispered something to his allies, a barely audible but loaded statement. "You're about to witness history," one insider said, quoting a source who claimed to have been close enough to hear. Security tightened, but the tension was already uncontainable. Fans online immediately speculated about what Durk might do, creating memes and dramatic reenactments of the alleged confrontation. Comments ranged from shock to disbelief. "No way this is happening in real life." Durk just turned the courtroom into a war zone. Fans are shook. As the session continued, another unexpected twist unfolded. A rival faction allegedly attempted to confront Durk's team in the hallway outside the courtroom. Eyewitnesses described a rapid escalation, voices raised, hands gesturing aggressively, and a near-physical altercation that security barely contained. "It was chaos," a source said. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and even seasoned security personnel were rattled. The family was left divided, unsure who to protect or trust. The energy in the building was described as palpable, like a pressure cooker about to blow. Durk reportedly handled the situation with calculated precision. He remained composed but commanding, an insider revealed. Every movement was strategic, every word chosen carefully. He knew the eyes of the world were on him, and he made sure to control the narrative. It was like watching a chess master at work, balancing raw emotion with tactical precision. Friends later confirmed that Durk was determined to maintain dominance, protect his legacy, and neutralize the threat posed by the witness. Meanwhile, outside the courthouse, fans and media outlets fueled the fire. Thousands live-streamed updates, creating viral moments in real time. "Fans are losing it," one YouTube commentator said. "This is insane. Emotions are high, the family is split, and every clip is being analyzed like it's a movie scene." Social media hashtags exploded. Hashtag Durk vs. Witness, hashtag Courtroom Chaos, hashtag Lil Durk Drama, trending globally within hours. Memes depicting the courtroom as a battlefield went viral, further amplifying the spectacle. Adding even more drama, insiders claim that Durk made a strategic move during a recess, confronting the witness privately in a secured hallway. Eyewitnesses said the confrontation was intense but silent. Words weren't spoken loudly, but the energy and body language conveyed a warning that was impossible to ignore. "It was like watching tension incarnate," one insider said. The witness was visibly shaken. Durk was unyielding, and everyone around felt the weight of the moment. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided over how to respond. Rumors began circulating immediately, some claiming the witness had received threats, others insisting that Durk's actions were misinterpreted. Social media erupted with speculation, with fans debating whether this was premeditated or a reaction to provocation. Influencers and celebrity gossip channels added dramatic commentary, framing the incident as a real-life thriller, complete with tension, betrayal, and stakes higher than anyone imagined. "Fans can't get enough," said one entertainment commentator. "Every clip, every angle, every glance is dissected. The courtroom has become a stage for chaos, and Durk is the star of the show." By the afternoon, the intensity escalated further. Reports suggest that security attempted to maintain control, but the energy in the building was electric. Durk remained focused, exuding authority, while the witness reportedly grew increasingly nervous, sweating and glancing around constantly. "It was surreal," one insider said. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was divided, unsure who would act next. The suspense was unbearable. Outside, fan speculation continued to fuel the story, creating a feedback loop that magnified tension and drama beyond the courthouse walls. The climax of Part 3 allegedly occurred when Durk reportedly cornered the witness in a restricted hallway, an event captured in viral leaked footage. The witness's expression was one of fear and disbelief, while Durk's intensity dominated the frame. Sources claimed that in this moment, fans finally understood why the courtroom had erupted initially. It wasn't just legal tension, it was personal, high stakes, and explosive. Security was close but hesitant to intervene too quickly, aware that any misstep could escalate the situation further. As night fell, social media and media coverage amplified every moment. Fans were dissecting the leaked clips, debating the morality, legality, and audacity of the events. Memes flooded Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, while YouTube commentary channels dissected every movement, glance, and whisper. "This is insane," one commentator said. "The family is split, the courtroom chaos is unprecedented, and fans are obsessed. The tension, the drama, the betrayal, it's like watching a thriller in real life." By the end of the day, one thing was clear. The story had grown beyond the courtroom. Durk's confrontation with the witness had captured global attention, turning a legal proceeding into a viral spectacle. Fans were shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. Every leaked clip, every fan theory, every social media post ensured that this wasn't just a moment. It was a cultural event, a real-life drama that would dominate headlines for weeks to come. The next morning, the courthouse was surrounded by a frenzy of reporters, fans, and security. The tension from the previous days hadn't diminished, it had only grown. Social media was exploding with hashtags like #DurkChaos, #WitnessDrama, and #CourtroomShowdown, trending worldwide as clips, memes, and speculation spread like wildfire. Fans were glued to every update, dissecting every movement and expression from Lil Durk, the main witness, and their families. Emotions ran high, and the family was left divided as the court prepared to reconvene. Inside the courtroom, Durk entered with a calm but commanding presence. Sources described him as steely-eyed, a man fully aware of the stakes and ready to assert control. The main witness, still visibly shaken from previous confrontations, took the stand under heavy security. It was like a scene from an action thriller, one insider said. You could feel the intensity in the room. Every eye was locked, every whisper amplified. Fans are shocked, emotions are off the charts, and the family is clearly divided. The session began tensely, with Durk listening intently as the witness recounted details critical to the case. Then came the first shocking twist. The witness allegedly made a comment that insinuated incriminating details against Durk. Witnesses claimed Durk's reaction was instantaneous, a sudden, sharp movement that silenced the courtroom. It was like watching a volcano erupt in slow motion, one insider said. You could see the rage, the precision, and the control all at once. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided over how to respond. The courtroom erupted into chaos. Security rushed forward, and whispers turned to screams as Durk reportedly confronted the witness directly, his voice low but filled with intensity. "You've said enough," Durk allegedly whispered, the words barely audible but heavy with meaning. The witness froze, and even the judge appeared taken aback. According to multiple insiders, family members on both sides were shouting, pleading, and crying simultaneously, trying to contain what was becoming an explosive situation. "It was emotional pandemonium," said one reporter. The family was divided, and fans watching online were going wild. Outside, fan reactions reached fever pitch. Social media erupted as leaked clips circulated, showing the confrontation from multiple angles. Memes depicting the courtroom as a war zone spread instantly, while fan theories ran rampant. "Durk just went off," one viral post read. Emotions ran high, the family was left divided, and fans are shocked. "This is insane." Another wrote, "The witness didn't know what hit them." Courtroom chaos at an all-time high. Influencers and YouTube channels jumped on the story, replaying footage with dramatic commentary, hyping the confrontation to cinematic levels. Back inside, Durk's allies reportedly intercepted a separate threat from the witness's associates attempting to escalate the situation in a hallway outside the courtroom. It was a tense standoff, an insider revealed. Voices were raised, gestures were threatening, and the energy was electric. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. The courtroom had already been a pressure cooker, and this almost tipped it over entirely. Security intervened, but the intensity left an indelible mark on everyone present. Then came the shocking climax. According to leaked sources, Durk moved with calculated precision, confronting the main witness in a highly charged private moment inside a secure hallway. Witnesses describe a silent but terrifying exchange. The witness visibly panicked, their hands trembling, while Durk's presence radiated control and authority. "It was a silent storm," one insider said. "No words were necessary." Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided over how to handle it. Every gesture, every glance, carried the weight of impending consequences. Rumors immediately spread that the witness had been permanently intimidated, or worse. Social media erupted with speculation, with fans questioning the morality and audacity of Durk's actions. Headlines like "Lil Durk turns courtroom into war zone" and "Main witness terrified after alleged confrontation" flooded news feeds. Influencers recreated the events, dramatizing them for views, while fans debated whether the confrontation was justified or crossed a line. "Fans are obsessed," one commentator said. Emotions ran high, the family was left divided, and every detail is dissected online. This is a real-life thriller. Even outside the courthouse, chaos continued. Crowds of fans, reporters, and onlookers created a spectacle, live-streaming updates and generating real-time commentary. "It felt like an arena," a source said. "Everyone was watching, everyone was analyzing." Fans are shocked, and emotions were palpable. The family was divided, unsure how this would unfold next. Social media amplified every leak and rumor, turning the story into a worldwide conversation about loyalty, fear, and power. By the afternoon, Durk reportedly returned to the courtroom with an air of calm triumph. Insiders say he knew he had reasserted dominance and sent a warning without losing control. Durk's strategy was flawless, a source said. He balanced emotion and calculation, protecting his reputation and sending a message to the witness and their associates. Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. Everyone knew the stakes, and Durk controlled the narrative perfectly. The witness, still visibly shaken, gave a brief testimony under close supervision. Courtroom staff, insiders, and family members all noted the intensity of the energy, how every glance, word, and gesture carried enormous weight. It was like watching a high-stakes drama unfold live, one observer said. Emotions ran high, fans were glued to the action, and the family was divided over what to do. Every second felt like it could explode into chaos again. By evening, the story had reached a fever pitch online. Clips of the confrontation were replayed millions of times. Hashtags trended globally, and the fanbase exploded with commentary, memes, and analysis. "This is insane," one fan wrote. "The family is divided, the courtroom is chaos, and Durk just dominated the scene." Fans are shocked. Influencers fueled the frenzy, creating narrative arcs of loyalty, fear, and power dynamics, making it clear that this was more than a courtroom drama. It had become a cultural moment. Sources claim that behind the scenes, Durk and his inner circle were debriefing, assessing legal risks, and strategizing for the next steps. He was calm, collected, and fully aware of the narrative outside the courtroom. An insider said, "Every move was designed to protect him legally while maintaining dominance." Fans are shocked, emotions ran high, and the family was left divided. The intensity of the day's events left an indelible mark on all parties involved, shaping not only the trial but public perception in ways no one could have anticipated. By nightfall, one thing was undeniable. Lil Durk had transformed a legal proceeding into a viral spectacle. The courtroom incident, the hallway confrontation, and the relentless social media coverage ensured that fans, families, and media outlets were captivated. Emotions ran high, the family remained divided, and fans were left debating the story's moral and emotional implications. Every leaked clip, every viral meme, every hot take online solidified this as a defining moment in hip-hop and celebrity courtroom drama, a story fans would talk about for weeks, months, and possibly years to come. And there you have it. What started as a high-stakes courtroom trial exploded into one of the most talked-about moments in hip-hop history. Lil Durk's confrontation with the main witness wasn't just legal drama. It was a full-blown spectacle of tension, loyalty, and raw emotion. Emotions ran high, fans were shocked, and the family was left divided, unsure of how to process what unfolded in those intense hours. From the courtroom chaos to the hallway showdown, every moment had fans glued to their screens, dissecting every detail, every glance, and every whispered word. But here's the real question. What happens next? Will the witness recover from the confrontation and continue with the case? How will Lil Durk's actions impact his reputation, his legal standing, and the court of public opinion? And will the family tensions ever truly settle? Or is this only the beginning of an even bigger saga? The story is far from over, and fans are already buzzing with speculation about what comes next. Now it's your turn. What do you think about Lil Durk's courtroom showdown? Did he go too far? Or was it a calculated move to protect himself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your takes, hot opinions, and predictions. Make sure to smash that like button if you're shocked by the drama, subscribe for more explosive celebrity updates, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a single moment of these jaw-dropping stories. The courtroom may have closed for the day, but the drama and our coverage never stops.